means we're going to play Angus 3 times in a row, and then promptly want to go do anything else. Hey, look at that. Shoku, God bless. I just want to draw some cards. Is that... I don't think that's asking a lot. I just want to draw some cards. Yeah, I got 2. The sets of spoilers I got on the main site today were really good. Pretty happy to have had those. Opponents got their Howling Brave on the play, which is one of their better starts. For a true professional, we'll roll Chlorophyllia next turn. We just want to get some acceleration going early. This hand's up fine keeping this matchup, though. We have a Lullaby in the opener. Generally, we don't have to start Lullabying until turn 4 or so against this matchup. I think I'm going to keep the Skyrim for my late evening slot. I think if we scrub... There's a Chlorophyllia. Unfortunately, that came in the wrong order because I can't Chlorophyllia this turn. Which feels a little bit bad. I'm also not going to Champ Power here because I would prefer to wait until... I prefer to Champ Power when I have 2 cards to put back in. Yeah, the Necrotic, I think both those cards are really good. I think we're gonna, if the draft queue has people in it, is that just you? Yeah, just you. If the draft queue has people in it, we'll draft if we get destroyed and constructed, and if the draft queue does not have people in it, we'll play some Pokemon TCG. Let's go ahead and Chlorophyllia here. I'll go ahead and play this Sapphire out. Then I'm going to go ahead and Champ Power both of these back into my deck. And unfortunately, it looks like we are under the you have to start Lullabying or Time Walking gun already, which I guess is their 4th turn. So, let's see. If they have lethal this turn, this is 8, 12, 13. Yeah, they actually just have lethal this turn. This is 9, 10, 11, 15. Yep, have to start Lullabying. Unfortunate. Almost certainly playing this. I think I'm just supposed to just do a really sad Time Walk here. Doesn't feel good, but I think it's right. Yeah, I think I'm just burning it again, just basically using these as like draw card accelerate essentially. I'll go ahead and peek here. There's a Lullaby, which is exactly what we want. Go ahead and Champ Power Lullaby and peek back into my deck here. I'm gonna go ahead and peek again. Peek. Grabbing another peek here gives us the best chance of finding another Lullaby if we need it again next turn. So I'll play this Shard and pass the turn. They've only got 7, 8, 9 points of damage on the table here, so there's a chance that like they don't have lethal this turn. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sure. Sure. This is still just 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so the sweet thing here is, again, the most important thing to remember is you don't Lullaby non-lethal attacks. So that attack was not lethal. Their deck, doesn't have ways to have any reach, so we don't really need to worry about that. So this is kind of an interesting question. The Sight of the Sun is the highest upside play, so I think I'm going to grab that here. The Change Course could potentially propel us into another Lullaby, but like I already have one. The upside on like getting to... They only have 1 card left in their hand, which could very well be a Carnasaur. Like they haven't had a window to play a Carnasaur yet. So if they have a Carnasaur, taking the Sight of the Sun feels really bad. But if they don't... If they don't have a Carnasaur, this card could likely win us the game next turn if we get to ready with it. Just like one-time dealer, one time no Carnasaur. Afternoon Inferno, hey Big Kitty, Kendrell, Hats, I think I missed a few, Elwins. Just play anything that's not anything that's not a Carnasaur. Balthazar, fine. Oh yeah, this makes my job easier. That means I have to draw them out of less cards here. Can't play a Carnasaur this turn, so there's only 2 Mastery of Times left in our deck, which feels a little bit bad, but other than that, Come on, bud. Why are we wasting our time? Just attack. You're very lethal. I lullaby. We move on to my turn. Oh, look at that. We attacked, and I lullabied, and then we moved on to my turn. Weird. It's almost like we knew it was coming. Strange. Alright, skip. So this means we're going to get to look at our draw step, plus this, plus these cards. So we're going to get to look at a lot of cards this turn, and we're going to get a bunch of resources in. We're going to gain some life. So this is, well, Mastery of Time is fantastic. Let's just start there. That was probably the best draw on the deck. Alright, Syzygy, sign me up. So let's go ahead and play Syzygy out here. And then let's play this out for a Sapphire Threshold. We might get going this turn. I'm going to go ahead and Champ Power and put Zodiac Divination and Lullaby back on my deck. Lullaby just in case we don't actually go off this turn and we need it. Alright, Chimes is phenomenal. So let's go ahead and do this. And then we'll Mastery of Time. And then if we hit, there's only one Mastery of Time left in our deck, but if we hit it next turn, we should win the game. That's really unfortunate. That's, well, I'm glad we drew this Lullaby. I'm glad we drew this Lullaby. This is almost certainly getting, Carnasaurus this turn. They've seen half their deck now. The good news is we get two draws here. We get our draw step plus a draw Ober and Zoology. Yeah, man, you do you. Dread Harvest, sure. Hey, Nero. So we get two draws, and we've got a lot of cards that draw other cards. And if we hit one of them, it'll get doubled up on here. We could... Oh, is this not dying? You've got to be carning this, right? Double Lullaby. Hey, look, a hit. So that's going to draw us 4 cards next turn because Chimes of the Zodiac doubles every action when we play it. Skip. Whoa, we got to Ready with Sight of the Sun. Well, this game should be over. I'm real confused, but not complaining. We're going to go ahead and Champ Power, Peak, and Focus back in my deck. I'm not putting the Lullabies back in here because we should just be decking them this turn. We do still have 2 Lullabies in the deck. We're going to have to get really unlucky to miss here. Yeah, we got to change course. And we hit another Lullaby. Excellent. So let's change course twice. What are we looking for? We'll grab change course. Would like to find Mastery of Time, ideally. And this Peak is going to go a long way towards finding us a Mastery of Time. So it's going to double up and draw cards. We look at the top 4 twice here. Wellspring is pretty good. Going to snag that one. And then I'm going to grab a Zodiac Divination so we can continue having some forward velocity here. I'm going to go ahead and Wellspring just for 2, which doubles so we get to ramp 4 up to 16. And then we'll activate the Sight of the Sun, so... Oh, we're up to 14, sorry. And then I'll go ahead and Zodiac Divination here, drawing us 6 cards, looking for a Scheme or a Mastery of Time at this point. Plenty of Lullabies here. Focus, Chlorophyllia, I actually don't think this Chlorophyllia gets us resources, so I'm going to grab this change course, which I wish I could check. It's kind of annoying. I can't look and see, because I binned 1 wild shard, so there's only 2 wild shards left in my deck at this point, or 1, I think. So let's scheme here, and this scheme is going to copy this Mastery of Time, and then I'm going to copy this Zodiac Divination, and I'm going to go ahead and peek here. We get a bunch of looks. Hey, look, there's a Mastery of Time, so we just put a bunch of those in our deck. Weird. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this Chlorophyllia. Then this Chlorophyllia is going to accelerate us at least. I think it just gets 1 here. I think the last one's in our discard pile now. Yes, it is. And we'll go ahead and Mastery of Time here, so we'll get to take 2 more turns after this one. So the game is over. Our opponent's not dead yet, but the game is over. I'm going to go ahead and move to our end step here. We're going to bin Time Ripple, and we have 1 change course can go, and then we'll bin some shards here. Actually, I don't really need these Lullabies, right? Yes, I could have been both of those. I don't want to discard too many shards because I do need my champion power to win the game most likely still. So we're going to go ahead and activate my champ power and put both schemes back into my deck because that's what we're looking to hit at this point. And now we actually win the game for people that are new to this deck and haven't seen me play it before. These Zodiac Divinations that we copied, we're going to scheme more copies of Zodiac Divination into our deck. And then we will draw a whole bunch of Zodiac Divinations. And Zodiac Divination says target player. So our opponent is going to we're gonna draw a bunch of our Zodiac Divinations, and then we'll make our opponent draw their entire deck. So these schemes, this scheme card puts 4 copies of an action in my deck into my deck. So I just put 8 more copies of Zodiac Divination into my deck. And then we're going to go ahead and play Syzygy here. And we'll see how long my opponent's got going on here. You know, I've got 3 extra turns in the bank right now because these Mastery of Times get copied by Chimes. I've got 5 extra turns in the bank right now. This is going to be 7 extra turns in the bank. You're just going to get to do all the things. I've got 6 more resources right now, and this will activate to give me up to 16 resources. Here's hoping he's not running Wild Growth. Yeah, most of them aren't running Wild Growth. If he's running Wild Growth, more power to him. Alright, there's another scheme. Go ahead and do this. Copy some Zodiac Divinations. Just hashtag all of the Zodiac Divinations. You're not wrong. That is actually the alternative. Hey, Anger. Good afternoon. I'm gonna grab all of these. Ali actually has a different build of this deck. He linked me that it's playing Cyclone Shaper, so it can play what's it called? I'm blanking on the name. So it can play what's the card called that Psychic Ascension is a win condition. This deck is very fun to play against. Hey, I just like playing him. Like, my opponent could have conceded at any point here. Like, the game is fairly, unless they've never played against us before the game. And even if I had never played against like what my opponent's doing, my opponent's basically just like has free roll to do whatever they want. So if I didn't have some kind of secret tech in my deck to go against this, I'd have conceded by now. So we've got I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Zodiac Divinations. They each draw 6 cards. That's 45. So yeah, so these are now we have assembled a lethal number of Zodiac Divinations. So now, these Zodiac Divinations start targeting my opponent, and these don't cost us any resources because Syzygy, we've played a bunch of Zodiac Divinations before, makes all my other Syzygys. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could assume, he could assume I'm an idiot, but like my opponent hasn't done anything that's gonna, like, induce me decking myself, so... And, like, obviously no one's obligated to concede, but again, the ladder is about playing matches quickly in general, so, like, when you're losing them, every minute you're spending losing a game that you know you're not going to win is time you could be spending winning other games. You know, each their own. I'm not going to complain. I don't mind clicking through here. My opponent's down to 6 cards in their deck. We'll just keep casting Zodiac Divinations, and then eventually when they are being told to draw a card and have no cards left in their deck, they will lose the game. So this Zodiac Divination will, quote, be lethal. And gone. All right, and against other mid-range non decks like this, I usually just don't board. The 1 time ripple probably isn't needed. I could be cutesy and board in like 1 troop, but this could buy us time tempo, so I'm just gonna leave that, I guess. Yeah, it sounds fine. It's not, like, super exciting, but, like, it's got 2 Lullabies in it, and it's got a Syzygy to get them going, so... Only 1 scheme? Yeah, you only need 1 scheme with Winter Moon. You just, like, Winter Moon the scheme back into your deck, basically. Play this. Play Syzygy, pass the turn. Lullaby's basically 2-cost Time Walk in this matchup. Puck's Daydream. Interesting. Let's go ahead and focus here. Focus! We've got plenty of resources, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab that. So I'm not actually going to use this resource this turn. You know, I'm not going to champ power either, though. Yeah, I should have just played the slow shard. That was a mistake. I was thinking I need the wild threshold to activate my champ power, but I actually don't want to activate my champ power with just one, so... If opponent brings Subtle Striker in... Opponent's playing mono wild, so, like, that's not a thing. Opponent is super accelerating here. Focus. I'm going to happily take another Mastery of Time here. I think later in the line, down the game, we're going to want as many of these as possible. I'm going to go ahead and put both of these back in my deck. Now, I said last game you basically only want to Lullaby lethal attacks. I might Lullaby a non-lethal attack for a large amount of damage later, although this is going to be quite a bit of damage, because I would like to get these other Lullabies cheaper, basically. But it looks like we're going to have to start Lullabying every turn here soon, so yeah, it's possible I should have taken that peak instead of the Mastery of Time there just to get more velocity going. Alright, yeah, so this isn't quite lethal, but they're probably going to start having things that are lethal next turn. So yeah, so I'm just going to take the 9 here and not Lullaby quite yet. I have all the resources they could ever want. Yep, I'm just going to go ahead and play this out. Pass the turn here. Balthazar, sure. Yeah, man, you draw cards. So my opponent post-board will have things like Scorn of Oberon to be able to deal large amounts, or to be able to interact with my constants and artifacts. Well, we're doing fine this game, Matt. This is how all these games looks with this deck. Like, you're always, they always have a massive board. That's just how it works. They always have a massive board. No damage for you. Come back in 1 year. Alright, Chlorophyllia is actually a great draw here. We were looking to accelerate. Play a resource. So I've played 3 wild shards at this point, so there's still 5 in my deck. Put both of these back in. Yeah, I mean, we had 5 time walks in our hand. No, I don't think so, Show. Doesn't really matter how big these things are, they're always going to be lethal. And now our Lullabies are free, which is huge. Like, we've gotten to Syzygy twice now, so they're free. Ideally, we'd like to draw like an Arcane Focus here. Peak will do if we hit a resource. Yeah, I'm going to take the Sapphire here. Then I'm going to play this out, and I'm going to Champ Power, and then I'm going to Mastery of Time. Makes my next one cheaper. Ideally, we're looking for, like, Zodiac Divinations or Oracle Songs here. Things to help us generate some velocity. I think I'm actually going to pass the turn here. We get a little bit punished if our opponent, like, has something to destroy our Syzygy, but I really don't want to use this Mastery of Time as just, like, draw a card. So, like, hopefully we're going to be able to get something else going with these starting next turn. That is not the first step towards getting something going. So we've got two draws to find something to make it work. And I think normally I talk about only wanting to champ power 2 cards in. I think because we only have 2 draws here, I want to put this extra Lullaby back into my deck because it is definitely an out. Let's go ahead and change course here. Hey, look, a Lullaby. And again, I'm not going to burn this Mastery of Time to just draw a card, basically. So I'm just going to pass the turn since we hit the Lullaby. I like how my opponent just gets, like, 3 lethal Dreadlegs every turn. We're just like, alright, yep. Draw a card. I'm going to change course here, so we'll play this at end of turn, since resources are a little tight right now. I'm going to happily grab another Lullaby here, I think. Bidding the Sight of the Sun feels a little bit bad, but I'm assuming my opponent can probably kill that. Another Syzygy. I think I actually want this resource more than anything right now. And this Lullaby also draws a card, so yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and play... Yeah, I'll play Syzygy out. If he has Grove Warden, we get a little bit punished for playing a second one, but Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to hold this because of Grove Warden. That card's not particularly popular right now, though, so... So this will give us... We've got 3 draws to find more ways to stay alive here. Yep, sure, you have a Gargolith. Things that don't change anything. This gives all of his units Spell Shield, which does not prevent Lullaby from working. So we get a draw from Lullaby, we get a draw for our turn, and then we get a draw on this Mastery of Time, which is good, because it looks like we are going to need it. Alright, come on. Oracle Song, Peak, Change Course, Zodiac Divination, Focus. Alright, so let's go ahead and start on the Chlorophyllia here, gets us a resource, which will give us enough charges to champ power and put these 2 Lullabies back into our deck, which are cards we are definitely looking for. Get 3 looks here. Oracle Song gives us more looks. Alright, Peak gives us a lot of looks. We'll play this out first because Peak looks at cards based on the number of Sapphire thresholds we have. So we draw a card, and then we look at the top 7 cards of our deck here. As much as I would like to grab... As much as I would like to grab this scheme, I think I need to just take this Arcane Focus. This draws 2 cards. I can't take the Zodiac Divination and Mastery of Time still this turn, so that's not an okay route. So let's go ahead and focus here. We get 4 more looks here. Oracle Song sounds wonderful. I get to draw 2. Remember, we just need 3 resources left over at the end here so we can Mastery of Time. And we hit a Lullaby, so that means I can go ahead and Zodiac Divination here because this Lullaby is free. Then I'll go ahead and pass the turn here. So again, we're just like building up enough resources to a point where ideally we're going to find our copy of Chimes of the Zodiac, and then we'll be able to Chimes and then Mastery of Time right away. To draw 2 cards off of this, we got 2 peaks here that are each going to look at that that'll each look at the top 8 cards of our deck. So we're going to gain another Sapphire threshold next turn. So let's go ahead and do this. Yep, need to find Chimes. That is exactly correct. So let's go ahead and do this, and I'm going to go ahead and put this Peak back into my deck and this Zodiac Divination back into my deck because those let me look at a lot of cards. Because if we don't find Chimes, I don't mind drawing into redraws, basically. And I could take a Lullaby. Yeah, I'm just going to take a Lullaby here, because if we miss on this next Peak, I might probably just passing the turn. We missed again, but we found another Peak, so let's do that. So, Peak, draw 2 cards, look at the top 8. Found a Focus. Man, we are just... I think I'm going to take this Chlorophyllia. Yeah, I'm going to take this Chlorophyllia. It draws a card. It actually nets us a resource because it's free, and then it plays a resource out of our deck. Focus. Alright. Grab a Chlorophyllia that nets us a resource. Did I already champ power this turn? I think I did. Yeah. Play this out. Yeah, I think I'm just passing the turn here. I've already burned 2 Mastery of Time. I have to discard here. Bin the Wild Shard for now. It's an AA Acolyte of Shoku. Sure, man. You do you. You already had Lethal Dreadlings every turn. Yep. Enjoy the Dreadlings. I'm going to cast this Lullaby, believe it or not. There's our Chimes of the Zodiac. So this card, whenever we play an action, copy it. So, and then we're going to need some schemes in our scheme is in our deck, I believe, still. Another Lullaby. So is our scheme in here? It is not in there, so that means it is in our deck. So let's go ahead and play Chimes out. No, I want the Time Ripple in case my opponent has a destroy target artifact card in their hand. It lets me Time Ripple my Chimes of the Zodiac. That's why I kept that. This is the best scheme is prized. Oh, you're not wrong, Maddie. It's looking like Scheme is priced. So I've got 2 extra turns in the bank here, so I'm just going to go ahead and ramp a little bit with this, which I guess now I'm not holding up Time Ripple to protect this, so maybe I should be. But I feel like he would have killed it in response to the other one. I mean, we'll be able to play this deck in Immortal. I'm going to start my next turn, and then I have 1 more turn after this. Peak is a perfect draw. We draw a card, and now we get to look at the top 9 cards in our 11-card deck here, looking for a Scheme. Alright, and we'll grab this Scheme right here. And then we'll grab this Peak. Sure, we'll grab the Peak. Then I'm going to go ahead and Scheme. And the first scheme's going to copy Zodiac Divination, and then the second scheme's going to copy Mastery of Time. And then I haven't played a resource yet this turn, so we'll do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and Champion Power, and I'm going to put both these schemes back into my deck. And the thing that gets tricky here is that post-board, my opponent has instant speed ways to kill my Chimes of the Zodiac, so I actually have to over-prepare. I have to... Oh, we didn't find any of our schemes. So looking for one of the schemes we just put back in, because I need to have enough Zodiac Divinations in my hand in order to draw my opponent out without the Chimes. Because if I'm depending on the Chimes, they can kill the Chimes. So now this is the part where it gets silly, because now we scheme the scheme, and we're at a point where we can take infinite turns now. Because I'm just copying Mastery of Times and copying schemes. So we'll be able to take an unlimited number of turns here now. So we'll draw a bunch of cards here. And hey, look, there's schemes and Mastery of Times. So we'll go ahead and play this scheme. Which scheme can copy Zodiac Divination. And then scheme will copy scheme. We'll just take a bunch of turns here. So we have more turns than we could ever imagine, and now we just have to Zodiac Divination our way through our deck, making more Zodiac Divinations as we go. So play this free scheme. Make more Zodiac Divinations. Yeah, the opponent. I mean, I am 10 minutes down on the clock on them. So like, you know, maybe I time out here while I'm screwing around, but don't worry, we're not gonna time out. Look, man, it's my opponent's life, and they can do whatever they want with it. It's their party, and they can cry if they want to. Cry if they want to. Die if they want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Do. I just, I'm having a good time. There's 44 cards in our deck, most of which are Zodiac Divinations and Schemes. If for some reason this turn were to end, we've got like 6 more turns to take. Go ahead and play this copy of Scheme here. And again, the only reason I'm going as deep as we are here is because our opponent has ways to kill this Chimes. So I need to get 10 or so Zodiac Divinations in my hand here. Which we almost have enough. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, let's Zodiac Divination myself one more time here. I guess I should have schemed first, whatever. So you're watching Jeff play it out. Why can't the opponent? Yep. Exactly. I have a Time Ripple down here still, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna do this, just in case. I'm having a good time. Is everyone else having a good time? Good morning, afternoon, and good night to everyone wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for choosing to spend part of your Tuesday here with us while we battle some Hex TCG. My name is Jeff Hoagland, and I am a professional TCG player / content producer. And here on this channel, we play all sorts of different card games and video games and stuff like that. If you're enjoying what you see in front of you and you're new, I'd encourage you to show a little bit of support by using that follow button there on the screen. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps other people find the content that I put together here. If you're really enjoying what you see and you want to support me a little bit financially, there's options to both subscribe on Twitch and become a patron on Patreon. Twitch subscriptions cost $4.99 per month, and they will get you access to an exclusive Discord server where we talk about Hex and Magic and all sorts of different card games and stuff. And then Patreon has varying levels that range from $1 all the way up to whatever you want to do. And there's different perks on the Patreon page. If you're looking to see more content from myself, you can check out my YouTube channel, which is listed in the stream information below. I archive all of my streams there. I break them up by game, by deck, by matchup, so you can watch just the content that you care about. Had a mute specific speech function. Yeah, look at that. And really, this deck is the perfect deck to play if you're just a good, nice person, because I'm a giver. I'm giving my opponent their entire deck in their hands. What's not to love, really? Just such a giver. Here's my Zodiac Divinations. And you draw some cards, and you draw some cards. Everybody draws some cards! It's like the Oprah of Hex, basically. Yeah! See? No bloodshed, no violence, just everybody hanging out drawing some cards. Won a match, didn't move from 50. Oh, God, it's going to be a slog, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a slog. Big bucks, no Angus. Big bucks, no Angus. I did forget about the 5% off at Hex Primal. You're not wrong. Another way you could support the stream is through our sponsors, that banner in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, Hex Primal. If you're going to buy Hex singles anyways, you can head on over there and use the code Jeff5 to save yourself 5% and also help support the stream a little bit as well. Hex Primal is third party. That is correct. But I do see a return when you use that code, so if you are going to shop there anyways, please save yourself for money and earn me something. Look, I was comboing while spieling, okay? This hand's actually pretty good. So opponent looks to be playing the Diamond Wild Marshall Josephina deck, which except for the 2 Wise Magistrates in their reserves, this is basically an unlosable matchup for us. And even the Wise Magistrates in the reserves aren't that big of a deal. I'm going to bring in a couple of Karns probably and a couple of we'll bring in a couple of Karns and and leave the Time Ripple in probably. Make yourself a script and record it tonight. Shut up! Don't take away from my Skyrim time. Skyrim time is precious. Knife Cat's got armies to raise. Can people also shop when they're not residing? Yep. Yeah, Hex Primal will. Anywhere that has PayPal or a major credit card can shop on Hex Primal. They will take all of your money. They are not picky. Chlorophyllia into focus on 2 is excellent. It gets us some acceleration here, and it also gets us some velocity because it lets us champ power 2 cards back into our deck. I took the Arcane Focus over the Syzygy there because I want to have more cards to start cycling back into my deck faster because we want to hit a high density of Winter Moon cards in our deck as fast as possible. You're not wrong, Sho. Yeah, I think I might just leave 1 Time Ripple and 1 Karn in. We don't need that many. They only have 2 Wise Magistrates, and it's not like they're going to mulligan for them. Their deck just, doesn't have reach and doesn't have a fast clock. So, this matchup's very, very good for us. That doesn't mean we can't lose it. Nothing, I don't like to use words like unlosable, but, if we had to pick a deck to play against a bunch with this, it would definitely be something like what my opponent's playing. Happily take a Zodiac Divination at this point. That sounds excellent. I'm going to do this. And then I'm actually going to change course here because I really don't want to put a Chlorophyllia back into my deck at this point. But I will, however, take this Chlorophyllia that draws a card. Sign me up for that. Delight. Put this Arcane Focus back in and the Zodiac Divination back in and pass the turn here. already have a Lullaby in our hand, which feels great. Hopefully we draw a Shard next turn, and then we get to go Shard, Chlorophyllia, draw a card, Champ Power, Zodiac Divination, draw back up. All I want to do is draw some cards, draw some cards, draw some cards. I'm just a simple man who wants to draw some cards. Dum da dum dum dum. Actually, if we hit a resource next turn, are we supposed to Wellspring for 3? I could see that being real. Did not hit a resource. That's unfortunate. I guess we could play this and hit a resource. Seems fine. Swing and a miss. All right, so what are we doing then here? I think I want to scheme. I could also just like Wellspring for 2. Yeah, I'm gonna Wellspring for 2. Seems fine. This is like the one turn I have to like exhaust out while they're not looking. I'm gonna put this Chlorophyllia in because it already draws a card, and I'm gonna put this Change Course back in. Ossuary Hex, welcome. Jason, I only have the emote bot enabled because the other ones didn't really see them. I didn't spend enough time looking at them to see exactly what they do. But the emote bot is sweet. I'm gonna assume my opponent is playing the deck list that I've been playing, which could be an incorrect assumption. They could have things like Frost Wizard or Cerebral Domination in the reserves for sure. And I'm gonna leave the Time Ripple in because it's a good catch-all, and I'm gonna board in 1 to 2 copies of Carnasaur to deal with Wise Magistrate and possibly a Frost Wizard. But I think that more than covers our bases. Okay, so we're gonna have to start Time Walking or Lullabying every turn now, which is, not a big deal. When I have a scheme as early as I do right now, I think so my opponent is holding up, what's the word I'm looking for here? They are representing Martyr in order to kill my, whatever the card is that replenishes my resources. I would love to draw a Shard, thank you very much. And we'll play this out, and then we'll Oracle Song, and then we will pass the turn, I think, and just Lullaby. We're on the need to Time Walker or Lullaby every turn stage of the game, which is fine. Like, we got to 9 resources before we got to that stage of the game, so we're plenty happy about that. That team, is this a team? There's Hex teams? The more you know. Shh. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, little crusader. No damage will be done to me. Do 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 do. Sure, man. There ain't no party like a war party. Look at that. We just drew a Lullaby like a professional. I'm going to Champ Power, put the Scheme, and probably the Focus back into my deck. I don't think we have another Lullaby in hand. If I didn't have this Lullaby in hand already, I would probably, there's a team with Tiger Resort on it. All right. And these Chlorophyllias are fantastic because they don't actually cost us any resources. They're just like resource neutral. And then, yeah, I'm just going to pass the turn here. We already used our Champ Power for the turn, and, like, we have a Lullaby. We've got a lot of looks at a Mastery of Time here, and there's 8 Mastery of Times in our deck right now, so... I guess I could have changed course on my turn, because I could have hit an Arcane Focus, potentially. I think I'm going to take the Syzygy. I think we're at a point where we want to start comboing. Losing the Zodiac Divination feels kind of bad, though. So we need Time Walks or Lullabies every turn now. I think, depending on what we draw for the turn, we're going to Champ Power back in both these Lullabies before we start looking for cards. Look at that. We're even up 2 minutes on the clock right now. We hit a Mastery of Time. That's good. I'm actually going to put... Because we hit this Mastery of Time, I'm going to put these Zodiac Divinations back into my deck. Play out the Syzygy. Play out the Sapphire. Scheme sounds great. I'd love to scheme. Am I just getting more Mastery of Times at this point? Who doesn't love more Mastery of Times, really? I'd love more Mastery of Times. Play this Syzygy. Play this. I'm gonna grab the Zodiac Divination at this point because we're gonna need some velocity next turn. This draws us 4 cards plus our draw step. Play this Shard out, put this Scheme and probably the Peak back into my deck. Yep. Like, maybe I should put the Lullabies back in, but at this point, like, there's infinite Mastery of Times. Oh. Okay, let's Mastery of Time. Let's Oracle Song. Looking for Chimes at this point. Chime, 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 chimes. All right, look, let's go ahead and scheme it up here. Hey, look, Sight of the Sun. Our opponent represented having... Our opponent represented having a piece of removal earlier in the game, so I don't think I'm going to play the Sight of the Sun out right now. It's just a better Lullaby. You're not wrong. Alright, now I'm just going to pass the turn to myself. I've got 2 turns in the queue, so we're going to pass to myself here and have 1 turn in the queue. I'm going to play Sight of the Sun. Because now I can protect this with Time Ripple when they go to kill it, which is nice. I'm going to go ahead and lead on Peak here. Looking for my chime, 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 chime. Martyr me in response? Sure. Grab a Zodiac Divination or a Peak. I think I just want another Peak, actually. We're basically just looking for chimes. I've got 1 turn in the queue here, but we've got 3 more turns in our hand. Yeah, I guess I'll take a Zodiac Divination at this point. And I gotta just remember to leave up 1 resource here when they go to kill this. Alright, Syzygy is a go. Mastery of Time is a go. I've reported Tiger Zord for rude conduct in chat more than any other. In fact, outside of Tiger Zord, the only other... I think I've reported 1 other person while playing Hex for rude behavior in chat. And I've filed 3 or 4 reports against him at this point. He's been very rude to my wife when she's playing on her account. He's actually, I think, he's been less rude to me than he's been to other people. Which is, you know, I guess I should be happy about that, but I'm not really. Like, being rude to anyone shouldn't be okay. Alright, I think we're just going to go ahead and put the Peaks back into my deck at this point. The Scheme could go back in too, I guess. There's my chimes. Look at that. It's chime time, ladies and gentlemen. Chime time, chime time. Doo, 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 doo. It's fine. Didn't even get a wild card. And you take some turns, and you take some turns. We all take some turns. Honestly, like, what Tiger does in chat is the reason why most other modern digital card games and games in general don't have a chat function in them, because people just use them to be awful humans to each other a lot of the time. That's probably very true, Trax. It's sad, but very true. Okay, so we're looking for our scheme, and this peak will likely find us our scheme. Alright, hopefully there's still Zodiac Divinations in my deck, otherwise I have to pass to myself. Sweet, so there's still a Zodiac Divination in my deck at least, so let's grab this. This scheme draws a lot of cards, though. Huh. Oh, there's 2 Zodiac Divinations in here. Okay, I'm gonna take Mastery of Time. Let's go ahead and do this. Hopefully we don't draw all our Zodiac Divinations. Perfect, so we got 2 schemes off here. And again, you know, this person's allowed to sit here and watch, but, you know, the game is over. They're not getting another turn. And it's all about how you value your time, I guess. I had conceded a long time ago, but, you know, I don't mind clicking through here. This is, are we all having fun? I'm having a good time. Nope, I would like the free divination, please. Alrighty, so I just put 8 Zodiac Divinations into my deck. 8 times 6 is, I'll grab this Oracle Song. 8 times 6 is 48, which is more cards than my opponent has in their deck. So let's go ahead and do this. I have, in fact, played High Tide of Magic. It's just, I like winning, and High Tide's not a very good Legacy deck. But this deck I actually think is genuinely good. Alright, as we like to call it, the beginning of the end. Have some cards, opponent. The Oprah of Hex, if you would. And you know what the funny part is? Like, if my opponent's trying to time me out here, I still have more time on my clock than my opponent right now. Like, through all the stuff that I've done, there's more time on my clock than they have right now. We're almost to the same. Almost to the same time on our clocks. And I've been reading chat and doing stuff on top of actually playing. Yeah, Allie works on some stuff that's pretty far outside the box. It's pretty great. So I actually need to find another Zodiac Divination before I can draw him out. He's going to 17 cards, and I've only got 2 Divinations left, so let's focus. Hoping my arm gets tired. Yep, pretty much. We found the 3rd Zodiac Divination. Now cast the Brain Freezes one by one. Well, can I just get? Can we get? We should really have a storm counter in this game. I think Allie's probably a little bit beat with the current constructed format too. I imagine he'll probably be playing and streaming a bit more as we get towards the end of the month, though, because he needs to qualify for the CCS. So so I'm gonna bring in 2 copies of Carnasaurus, I think. I feel like they're gonna leave in some removal. Do I want to cut the Sight of the Sun? I almost feel like I want to cut the Sight of the Sun. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cut the Sight. I'm gonna cut the Sight and a Syzygy and give this a go. So the problem with the emotes tracks is that when Twitch Prime first came out, my subs bumped over the threshold for getting the 2 extra emotes, and right now if I delete emotes, I can't add emotes back in because we're down below the threshold for having additional emotes right now. So I can't change any of them unless we get back above 250 subs. We've been floating just under that pretty consistently for a while now, because after the influx of Twitch Prime subs, people don't come back in and manually renew them, because you have to do that with a Twitch Prime subscription. Yep, you just need to be in the top 64 of one of the ladders, and when the clock strikes midnight on the West Coast at the end of the month. It ends at midnight PST on the 28th. This hand's not particularly exciting, but I think it's fine. Change course on 2 is actually very, very good, because it means we can activate our champion power on the second turn of the game and put 2 cards back in. Speaking of subscribers, welcome back, Deveron. I appreciate the continued support. 6 months, half a year. So I could have just like Syzygy'd this turn, but I think I'd rather change course and again just like aim to have the goal be get the highest concentration of cards in my deck as early as possible that have Winter Moon's ability on them. It does not drop down. It just takes an invite out of the system if you 64 both ladders. Yeah, the very end of the season is often a slaughter because people are all just like dogpiling in to try and make it. All right, and this Sapphire Shard was actually a great draw because it means I can play this Syzygy and then Chlorophyllia after playing the Syzygy, so I can make the Chlorophyllias cheaper. And again, I'm gonna champ power here and put 2 cards into my deck just because I want a high density of Winter Moon cards in my deck ASAP. Any chance you could post a link to your Hex starter vids, the one with Magic Lingo? There we go. I actually don't have a video. It's an article for Hex. And give that one a go. And feel free to post any questions that you might have in chat while you're watching. I try to talk about what we're doing, but with this deck especially, the combo turns are kind of long, so I don't always talk quite as much as I could. Alright, so it looks like we've got one more turn before we start having to Lullaby and or... Oh, so next... Actually, we don't have one more turn here. We need to start Lullabying. I forgot about this making the Valorous things bigger. Oh, no. Oh, no. We could be dead here. Actually, we could be very, very dead. We have 3 looks at a... I did not realize how close we were to dead when I was sequencing. Hey, look at that. JK found a Lullaby. And then next turn we can Mastery of Time to get more looks, but... The CCS is March 11th. Blitzkind with the brand new Twitch Prime subscription. Welcome. I appreciate the support. Did my browser plugin stop working? I'm really sorry the notification didn't come up. I will have to try and figure that out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure it out midstream. I'm sorry your Pikachu wasn't there. The laughs were at least. I don't know what happened. So I think we're just doing this. doing this, and then champ powering the Peak and the Lullaby back into my deck here, and then we're going to go ahead and Mastery of Time. Hey, Dark Wanderers, it's going much better today than yesterday. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and Arcane Focus, get 3 looks at a Lullaby. Mastery of Time will also do. Peak is pretty good. Gonna go ahead and Peak. We'll take a free Peak for later. Go ahead and Mastery of Time here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and Scheme here. And this Scheme is going to make copies of Mastery of Time, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna make copies of Mastery of Time. Although I guess, yeah, that was probably a mistake. Alright, we hit a Mastery of Time, so we're not punished. I think I should have copied Lullaby there, actually, because then I could Zodiac Divination into them and still play them. Chlorophyllia for sure. This is actually neutral on resources for us, because it costs 1 and gains us 1. I can champ power and put these 2 Peaks back into my deck here. And now I have to, and we could brick on this Zodiac Divination and die now. And we didn't. I meant to ask last night, are you going to keep playing more traditional video games in the evening? I don't know about variety of traditional video games, but I plan to continue playing Skyrim for the foreseeable future because I'm having a very good time with that. Alright, there's a Chimes of the Zodiac, but we could brick and die here. Ooh, uh-oh. 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 Oh, there's a Lullaby. God bless. Alright, so... yep, just gonna pass the turn here. Things were getting a little dicey there. Was a little bit scared. So this is plenty lethal. We'll go ahead and Lullaby and draw a card. I'm going to go ahead and change course here during my opponent's end step, looking for a Mastery of Time, basically. And look, there's a Mastery of Time. So that will hopefully be the game. So what we get to do now is... there is a world where we could theoretically brick off and die here, but it's pretty unlikely. I'm going to go ahead and put Scheme and Zodiac Divination back into my deck. I'm going to go ahead and play this Chimes, and then we'll play Mastery of Time and take 2 additional turns after this one. Go ahead and I'm gonna hold this Oracle Song for now. Actually, I'm gonna pass the turn to myself. Today's always lucky. I don't know about always lucky. So we still have 1 more turn in the bank here, so I'm gonna ramp up to 20 resources here, and then pass the turn to myself. Yeah, actually, I'm going to Oracle Song now. Spend this 1 resource, so we could discard. Actually, that's funny. We can play this. Are there any wild shards in our deck? Sweet. And then, oh, I haven't champ powered yet this turn. Let's put Zodiac Divination back into my deck and put a Focus back into my deck. Go ahead and play Carnasaurus here. Fight this nerd. Take my next turn. We even have a free Lullaby in case this wasn't good enough. Alright, everybody. Focus! Focus! Up to casual 24 resources. Like I said, if we could pick a matchup to play, it would definitely be this one all day long. All day. All day. All day long. All day. And we were very lucky and hit the scheme. Hit the scheme early. Hit the scheme early. Early scheme. Early scheme early. Yeah. Alright, let's get a Mastery of Time up in here. And let's get a Zodiac Divination up in here. Up in here. Let's go ahead and take a peekaboo here, looking for a Mastery of Time. We get to look at 16 cards here, basically. I'm going to take a peek off my peak so we get to look at more cards. Hey, look, a Mastery of Time. That's free. Hey, look, more turns. Dun, 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 dun. And then again, this time through, my opponent has the ability to interact with my combo. So I actually want to make sure I can deck them without what's the word I'm looking for? Deck them without the Chimes of the Zodiac. And I think we're actually just going to pass the turn to myself here. Yeah, I'm going to bounce 2 of their things for good measure, because why not? I have to discard it anyways. I guess I could save this to protect the Chimes of the Zodiac, but whatever. I'm going to pass to myself here, skip, discard this Lullaby that we don't need. Is this only the second match? This is the second match. And then I've got a bunch of turns in the bank here, so I'm actually just going to pass the turn to myself here again. Yeah, I got a bunch of turns in the bank. And then this way I can play this shard out. I should have played the Sapphire since I have a peak in my hand. And then put these 2 schemes back into my deck. Look at that. Redraw the scheme right away. God, we're good at this. So how much is this deck? This looks super fun compared to Magic Combos. This deck costs about $60, I think. This deck's super obnoxious, and I enjoy it a lot. This may not be the most efficient way. You know what? You know what's a less efficient way? A less efficient way is losing a bunch and being frustrated that I'm losing. So I am having a blast. I am having a gas, and we're gonna keep doing this all afternoon. Oh, right, we get to do it again. Oh, look at all these schemes. Look at them all. Look at them all. All right, this scheme's going to copy the Zodiac Divination. This scheme's going to copy this scheme. Let's grab this Mastery of Time. I forget how many turns we have stacked up here, but it's a lot. We got 13 minutes left to combo. I mean, I'd be pretty surprised if a deck similar to this isn't good in the non-rotating format. I'm not expecting the non-rotating formats to be too particularly aggressive. Oh no, what if I accidentally clicked through my turn? That's okay, there's more turns coming! Woo! Who's having a good time? I'm having a good time. Kappa or whatever. Sure. Scheme a scheme. Scheme a little scheme, scheme a scheme, scheme a scheme, scheme, scheme a little scheme, 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 scheme. It will be Angus all the way with more Ruby cards coming. I don't think that's necessarily true. Only 1 Mastery of Time left. Oh no! I should scheme the Mastery of Times. I do have like 12 turns in the bank right now. Alright, fine. We'll scheme the Mastery of Time for good measure. If my opponent wants to sit here captive, they can sit here captive. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pass to... Nah. I was gonna say, I could pass to myself to make them click. Would that be rude? Alright, we'll start decking them at this point. Draw all of the cards, friends. BM clicks. You know, it's BM. You're dead. You should concede. Yeah, Angus never had to compete with Boris Blastforge, which is very real. Like... coffees for closers. And Spell Shield Rabbit that flies that makes randos is definitely a closer. And in case they have some way to beat us Zodiac Divinationing them out, we've got enough turns in the bank that we can put our Time Ripples back into our deck and then Time Ripple their board and then kill them with this Carnasaur in infinite turns. Yeah, I knew we were beating Nature's Reigns. Yeah, it's like, sure. Look at that. 1-2 matches all the way up to 49 on the board here. Ellie Combo! Oh, Ali Andrazi, why you make such fun hex deck? I don't even know what to do with myself. Just draw all the cards. See, this hex deck makes me feel like I'm playing Pokemon. Makes me feel like I'm playing Pokemon. It does. Mars_Hex with the 5-month channel resubscription. Welcome back. I appreciate the continued support. Do you guys hear the laughter? The thing's not displaying, and I don't want to. OBS likes to throw a fit when I. Hex Raisu with the Twitch Prime subscription. Welcome, I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome back. Random thought of Discord. Is required to get you to play XCOM on stream for views. I don't know what that is. The stipulations for my random other games is that I'm not installing Windows to play said game, so it has to run through Wine or have a native Linux version. Okay, yeah, I'm Kaigalichu. Woo! Unless they have Curse of Oblivion, this matchup's very, very good too. Very, very good. Dinotropia with the Twitch Prime subscription as well. Thank you, bud. I appreciate it. You're the best community manager. So, as good as Double Lullaby is, I don't think we're allowed to keep a no Sapphire hand. I think we just have to ship it back. And this hand is not stellar, but reasonable. Actually, it's pretty bad. I'm a liar. It's actually just bad, but it's a 6, and it's got some shards. We're going to keep it. We have a bunch of Arcane Focuses and Oracle Songs and Change Courses and Peaks, so we've got a lot of redundancy in selection. Apologies for the Pikachu's not popping up. I don't want to... Thanks, Trex. So, we wanted to draw a third resource there. We wanted to draw a third resource there, but ideally we wanted it to be a Sapphire for this. We do get to jam Sight of the Sun next turn, which if they don't have Hero Fall or Karn right away, that'll be good for us. And yeah, I think I want to jam Sight of the Sun as opposed to Chlorophyllia. We're really not accelerating into anything relevant without the second Sapphire. Let's see if our hero is going to fall here. So, what do we want to do? We want to hit a Sapphire Shard here, or even a Slow Shard, so that we can just get a second Sapphire Threshold. Excellent. So let's play that. And then we can play this Chlorophyllia out. And then, again, I think when we scheme early, we often just want to scheme... We often want to just be scheming the Mastery of Time, so it's one of the better cards that we can draw, especially when we have a Syzygy out. So I'm going to go ahead and put Scheme and Chlorophyllia back into my deck. They likely have a lot of removal in their deck, so I really don't want to put Sight of the Sun back in, and I'm still in the phase of the game where like I'm looking to accelerate, so Chlorophyllia is definitely worth getting back into my deck. And my Chlorophyllia's only cost... No! No, that's so bad for us. I was going to say, the Zodiac Divination draws the Chlorophyllia, and then it's free because it goes from 1 to 0, but they giant corpse flight us. This is a 2/1 for 3 with flying. That when it comes into play, target champion discards a card. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Well, things that feel bad for 100. I'm going to go ahead and put these two back into my deck. Well, if we hadn't gotten Corpse Flight or Inquisition there, we were going to be in a pretty reasonable spot. Now we need to hit some top decks. So we have four Winter Moon cards in our deck at this point, so that's pretty good. Okay, so I wasn't quite sure. Still not quite sure what our opponent's doing. Like, Giant Corpse Flight made me think maybe they're playing something like my Rabbit Rock variation of Kaigalichu, but then there's a Death's Head Rider in their Crypt here, so that makes me think they're on a Crusader variant still. This card's very good. This is just like one of my, like this and this, just like good solid value cards. Alright, we have Lullaby. TCGs are boring to stream. You're not drawing enough cards, Matt. That's your problem. You're not drawing enough cards. There might be merit to lullabying this non-lethal attack because they've shown me Corpse Fly, but I'd be kind of surprised if there's more than 2 flies in their deck. So I'm gonna be a little bit greedy and hold this lullaby because now they have lethal on board. So I'd like to lullaby a lethal attack for sure. Let's Oracle Song. Draw some cards. If I get Corpse Flight again, I'm going to feel really bad, but I think I'm supposed to play that resource out, because we do just need to be playing resources here. We are dead to an Inquisition, which is not a great feeling, but it is what it is. We don't have a line that doesn't leave us dead to an Inquisition. Okay, so we've got at least 2 draws here. We get our draw step for the turn, and then if that's a brick, this Mastery of Time gets us another draw. We need to remember to try and play around Corpse Flight when we only get down to 1 important card. You'll get Smoke Claw Rakered. Yep, right. That also kills us there. Scroll of Yazukan. We're in the have to lullaby or combo here, so Change Course is very good. Gives us a bunch of looks here. I'm gonna take the Peak because Peak actually gives us more redraws next turn than another Mastery of Time does, because Peak lets us look at 3 cards, whereas Mastery only lets us redraw 1. And ideally, we want to find something like Oracle Song or Zodiac Divination or one of our Winter Moon cards so we can kind of generate some velocity. Like right now, we're basically just treading water, and that doesn't feel very good. So now I'm going to go ahead and Champ Power and put Mastery of Time and Lullaby back into my deck, because I would like to. I'm looking for either of those cards with this Peak or redraws, so get 4 looks here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right, so Oracle Song only sees 1 less card than Peak, but Oracle Song gets all 3 of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and this could be wrong. All right, it found a Peak, and we found a Mastery of Time. All right, so it's Mastery of Time, and then pass the turn to ourselves. Scheme is great. Let's play this, and then I'm going to go ahead and scheme Mastery of Time here. Give us... And there's a Mastery of Time again, so yeah. So hopefully our opponent's just not going to get another turn here. Mastery of Time that draws a card. That's exactly what we're looking for. It's stalling and velocity all wrapped up in one nice little package. We play a resource yet this turn. It's funny. It's like really easy to forget have you played resources or not. So we actually we're back down to 2 looks here again. So We could again brick and die. That is not a card. Well, dead to discard, but looking okay otherwise. Maybe I'm just supposed to Lullaby there. I don't know. I'd kind of like to hit a Zodiac Divination here. Peek. Yep. Look at 5. Looking for cards that generate multiple cards at this point. I think I'm going to take this Chlorophyllia. It's acceleration and velocity, so it's going to let us champ power. We bricked. Okay, and this time I'm going to avoid playing out this shard because I don't want to get Giant Corpse Flight. I'm going to put 2 Peaks back into my deck because they're really good at finding us stuff. Unfortunately, this Lullaby is not one that we've champ powered, so it's not going to draw us a card. So we only get 1 draw step next turn. Could still brick and die. We just haven't hit. We've hit a lot of like treading water type cards like these Lullabies and these Mastery of Times, but we haven't hit a card that really lets us pull ahead like a Zodiac Divination would. So this is it. That's our one last shot. It's a chance to roll. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. It's possible I should have taken the change course instead of taking the Chlorophyllia there. It's possible that was greedy and wrong. Are you ready? Splinter of Bakrug is ready. So he's going to scrounge with his paw, I assume, and kill one of my Syzygys. That's fine. Syzygy's mostly done its work at this point. We still have 1 left, so come on. Come on. We need to find... Ideally, we want like an Oracle Song or one of our Winter Moon cards next turn. 8. Okay. 2 Relux. Change Course is actually more looks than the Mastery of Time, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, and again, I'm going to take the Arcane Focus. We're really looking for a Zodiac Divination here, or an Oracle Song or something to generate some velocity. Okie doke. Okie dokie. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on, Kismet. Come on, you've been so good to us. You've been so good to us, Kismet. Oh, Kismet! No! Ah, we tried so hard. We fought so long. Right. This is the part where you think for a second, you think for another second, and then you hit save. Tip, scheme on Zodiac Divination. Maybe the second scheme probably should have hit Zodiac Divination. I definitely think the first scheme was correct on the Zodiac Divination, Ollie. The second scheme could very well have been much better on a Zodiac Divination, because we did see a lot of Mastery of Times there, and if one of those had been a Divination, we would have been rolling. I mean, like, I feel like we've got fairly unfortunate there. Like, I feel like with average statistics that, like, my line on the Mastery of Time is fine, because, like, we need Masteries and Chimes to, like, start going off. Like, we saw how many cards in those last turns? We peaked, we focused, we peaked for 4, we focused, and then we had, like, 2 draw steps. So we looked at 9 cards into 40, looking for 3 Oracle Song, 10 Winter Moon cards, or 3 Zodiac Divinations. So, like, we had 8 looks at 16 cards and 40-ish. So most of the time we find one of those. Sounds fine. It sounds actually pretty reasonable. Lullaby's decent. We get to go ahead and lead on Focus, and then on turn 2, we get to slow Shard for Wild, and then Focus again, and put both of our Focuses back into our deck. Yeah, I'm actually going to grab a Threshold here. Grabbing the Sight of the Sun early isn't very good against decks that have a lot of removal in them. And I'm going to focus here, and because we have peaks in our deck, it's really pretty important to make sure these get Sapphire. Yeah, I think I'm going to put this on Sapphire. and then just not Champ Power right away. Next turn, we can go Wild Shard, Oracle Song, and then Champ Power, Oracle Song, and Focus back into your deck. Yeah, I think it's an interesting discussion, Ollie. Like, what's the statistically optimal play? Is it to make Zodiac Divinations the second time through? Because like the Zodiac Divinations the velocity needs the Mastery of Times to go alongside it, and I felt like I had enough velocity in my deck without scheming the Zodiac Divination, so I just like wanted a higher chance to have more Mastery of Times. But it could be that we just wanted the more velocity and less masteries. This card puts 3 cards in his crypt. Bury the top card, 3 cards of each champion's deck. Okay, so there's 2 Mastery of Times in my discard pile. Gonna want to Champ Power those back in for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and play this out for a Sapphire here and put my Mastery of Times back in my deck. Yeah, happy to play this out. I get to go double peek this turn. Mirror match is mutually out. The mirror match sounds awful. They got a Call to the Grave too? Opponent's got a lot of interesting stuff in their deck. Some neat synergies going on. Again, not lullabying non-lethal attacks. We're going to change course and peek during my opponent's end step here. Peek gets sees more cards later. Change course is always only going to see 3. So, and we'll lead on change course in case we change course into change course for the Yo Dog moments. Yo Dog, I heard you like to change course. You can change course while you change course. Yep, that's fine. Do your worst. Hand is super redundant. Got 3 time walks and 3 cards that draw cards. I got 2 pair Mastery of Time Kicker, your move. I took the change course, okay. Seems fine. I'm just going to double peek here. Yeah, and I'm going to take, I'm just going to take Chlorophyllia. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to take the Oracle Song there. Like, okay, Zodiac Divination is great. I'm saying we're kind of short on velocity right now. Like, I need some things that, like, actually just, like, generate density of cards. That's pretty good. And now we can Chlorophyllia, and we're nowhere near dead on board, so I don't need to be holding up Lullaby here. And now I can Champ Power these peaks back into my deck, and then Oracle Song. And then we have 3 time walks, Zodiac Divination, and then whatever this draws. These are basically time walk in this matchup. And hey, there's a Mastery of Time that draws a card. This was one of the ones that this Bakrug flipped over. Probably play that out next turn. Yeah, that's not true. Maybe we'll Zodiac Divination next turn. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have Curse of Oblivion in their deck. That's actually fine. So long, change course, my old friend. So this will draw us up to 8. Hey, look, a scheme. Oh crap! I have made a horrible mistake. We're post reserves against Kai Galici right now. If my opponent has steel intel in their hand, I might not be able to win the game anymore. That's why I copied. That's why I copied the divination. If they have a steel intel for the scheme and they know how important the scheme is and that I'm an idiot and only play one, I shouldn't have played that when I couldn't Winter Moon it right back in. Discard a Lullaby at this point. That's fine. Puts me to 10. They've got 6, 7, 8, 9 power on the board here. Drawing, that's actually pretty good. So now I can go ahead and chant power, put my scheme back in, put my Zodiac Divination back in, and then I can Oracle Song for 3 and then Mastery of Time. Okay, so, we hit Chimes of the Zodiac. Interesting. Looking for another Mastery of Time is pretty good. I think I'm just gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna Zodiac Divination here. This might be wrong. Maybe I'm supposed to take the Lullaby there so I'm not dead to an Inquisition. I have another Lullaby anyways. Okay, so... What do I want to do here? I think I'm just passing the turn. I don't know what I want to discard, though. Probably discarding this resource, right? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Just on the off chance there's a Siphon Life or something weird in my opponent's deck, I'm gonna Lullaby this non-lethal attack. I know we've been talking about never doing that, but just for good measure, we're gonna try it. We're gonna try to avoid dying like an idiot. Corpse Fly, sure. I'm gonna peek in response here just so I can discard with a little bit more informed decision point. I'm gonna have a resource here, and I'm gonna ditch the Lullaby, actually. I think our next turn's gonna be Zodiac Divination plus Mastery of Time, and I might put these Lullabies back into my deck. If he has an Inquisition here to follow this up, we'd be in a little bit of trouble. So let's play this, and then, yeah, I'm gonna put Lullaby as a card that I'm interested in drawing, so let's put those back into my deck. Then I'm gonna go ahead and Divination here. Okay, Syzygy is a good pickup. We'll go ahead and play that. Mastery of Time. Actually, Syzygy's awesome because it means I can Chimes plus Mastery next turn and hopefully start going off. There's a scheme. Sounds great. Yeah, pass the turn here to myself. They have Scorn of Oberon. That would be annoying, but not the worst. Even in Dire. So we play Chimes here with 4 resources up. Mastery of Time costs a convenient 4. 2 extra turns here. Okay, so pass to myself, 1 turn in the bank. Play this, Champ Power. Put Peaks back into my... Let's put Zodiac. Nah, I schemed those earlier. Let's put Peaks back into my deck. We'll scheme here twice, probably hit Mastery of Time and Zodiac Divination with it. It's a good pickup. We've still got 1 turn in the bank here, so we'll hit Mastery of Time. There was 1 of those left, and then We'll hit Zodiac Divination with the second one. No, we are giving the gift of hex cards. Thank you very much. Everybody loves drawing cards, so I am spreading the wealth around. I'm a giver. Yeah, see, exactly. You understand. You understand. I'm basically we've been referring to me as Hex Oprah. I've been referring to myself. We're just giving everything away, giving it all. Everybody gets some. My opponent is no longer getting any more turns. So the one thing that's kind of awkward is there's a non-zero chance that my opponent has Curse of Oblivion in their deck, which means I do actually have to set up infinite turns here in order to go off guaranteed. So I'm going to go ahead and gain a bunch of life here. And then I think I need to make sure Time Ripple... I'm going to put these schemes into my deck here. So we've got a bunch of turns in the bank. I'm going to go ahead and play this. There's a Time Ripple to protect my things from removal. And then I'm going to go ahead and put these schemes back into my deck. I did not finish it. I tried to play some more Constructed last night off stream and then got thoroughly destroyed again just like we did on stream, so... Who thinks we should win this game by attacking for lethal with Sight of the Sun? Anyone? I feel like we should win this game by attacking for lethal with Sight of the Sun. That sounds fun. Anyone else with me? So, first one's going to scheme my scheme. This one's going to scheme Mastery of Time. Only going to go for 3 here because I want to hold up this this Time Ripple. It's the only reasonable line of play. I'm glad you agree. And so how we go infinite on turns here is we scheme schemes, and then we... Oh, I already had a scheme, whatever. And then we scheme Mastery of Times. And eventually we just take... Eventually we just take all the turns. Alright, so... I'm aware. I feel like my opponent would have killed this by now. I asked him, do you have a way to kill this one too? Because I'm about to take 21 turns. Just curious for the win con. It's literally attack you with this one too. Alright, opponent concedes instead of making us click through 21 turns. God bless. So, fun fact, they're probably going to board in removal this game. So, save. Looks like my toddler's awake from his nap. I'm going to grab him really quick. Be right back. Thanks for hanging out, folks. We're going to play some more. Don't go anywhere. That sounds fine. It's got acceleration and it's got an Oracle song in it. That's fine. Chlorophyll here. Sorry, getting a show set up for the youngest one. Back to my focus here. We've been live for an hour 37. This is our third match. God bless. God bless. I'm going to mute my microphone while I eat a piece of candy here, because I am a fat American. I'm going to bend the change course here. His hand's really not looking for anything in particular right now. So, I think our play this turn is Syzygy into Wellspring. But we're still not into the we need to Time Walker Fog portion of the, or Lullaby portion of the game. I just want to keep building velocity, basically. or keep generating. We're in the like the generating resource portion of the game, so we're going to be entering the mid game where like we're trying to survive here shortly, and then hopefully we'll be able to transition into the late game where we get to actually start winning. This second Zodiac Divination was actually an excellent draw because of this Inquisition, so they're almost certainly going to take my Lullaby here. I don't know. They might still take a Divination. Like, the Divination is likely another Lullaby. If they have Shard, second Inquisition, we're going to be under the gun, but I can Wellspring for 1 cheaper now. That is correct. Yes, my hero power for 2 charges takes 2 cards from my discard pile and shuffles them back into my deck. Yeah, I'm going to target the Zodiac Divination for now. We've got 2 Master of Times in my hand currently. I'm going to put a Scheme and a Zodiac Divination back into my deck. Again, playing around Steel Intel this time around like I should have last game. And my hand is suddenly very good against discard again here. Just got, 2 pair. Looking to draw Zodiac Divination. Huh. I think I'm actually going to Lullaby this non-lethal attack, and the reason why I'm doing this is because it makes my subsequent Lullabies cheaper. There's definitely sequences where we could brick and die, but we are definitely a strong favorite to win the game right now. Zodiac Divination is excellent. I get to go ahead and cast this Mastery of Time for 5 here, and then start my turn. And then next turn, we can Zodiac Divination plus Mastery of Time, and this is what we're looking to be doing. We want to be generating velocity with cards that draw more cards while simultaneously taking more turns. My opponent's deck does not have any form of formal reach in it. Change course that draws a card. Yep, that's velocity and selection. Song, sign me up. So I basically, Chlorophyllia, we are still kind of looking for acceleration. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and Mastery of Time here. Now I'd kind of like to find my Scheme and Scheme. I think there's only 1 Mastery of Time left in my deck. No, there's 2 still, right? So I would like to find a Scheme and Scheme Mastery of Time so I can take all of the turns. So now we get to take another turn. I'm going to lead on Chlorophyllia here, so that way when we start looking, we're less likely to see resources. This also lets me champ power before I start looking for cards, the rest of my cards. Go ahead and champ power and put these Zodiac Divinations back into my deck. Actually, I'm going to put this Wild Shard back into my deck, and while that may seem odd, Chlorophyllia plays Wild Shards out of my deck, so putting that Wild Shard in gives my Chlorophyllias a chance to draw a card, because that Wild Shard will draw a card when we play it. Yeah, we've got 1 more Mastery of Time in the deck still, so I'm going to go ahead to draw this, I think. We are going to need that at some point here, most likely. All of these things are free. All of these things are free. And you draw some cards, and you draw some cards. Everybody draws some cards. I'll take a Syzygy over a ramp spell, I think. This makes all my cards 2 cheaper when I play them, so now my next peak will be free. Looking for my Scheme, looking for my Scheme. Heidi-ho, the cherry-o, looking for my Scheme. The next best thing to a Scheme is a selection spell. After that, it's some velocity. We're just going to burn through. Yeah, I'll grab this peak. And I'm actually going to Mastery of Time here and then pass the turn to myself again. The reason why I'm doing this time is I could play this peak for free, but if I wait till my next turn here, I get to play out the Sapphire Shard as an additional Sapphire threshold, and I can champ power and put some other cards that I might want to peek into back into my deck, like these other 2 peaks. Because if I peek into a peak that draws a card, that's like peak netting me netting me cards, which is velocity. So, yeah, I'll take a Zodiac Divination here. Oh, I grabbed the one that cost more because it switches them because it's annoying. So if we end up 1 resource short, that's my fault for misclicking. This Chlorophyllia is free, and it plays a Wild Shard out of our deck, so it nets us a resource here. Even if we brick off here, we have 2 Lullabies, so we're not dead. And we're not even dead on board, even if we don't have a Lullaby. So I will take this Zodiac Divination that costs 1 and draws an extra card, so we'll pay 1 to draw 4 here. And now most of our Zodiac Divination should be free at this point, because this one's now -1. Looking for a scheme, looking for a scheme. Heidi-ho the cherry-o, looking for a scheme. Chimes. Chimes, you say? Chime time! It's chime time! Playing that out might have been a little bit loose, actually, because my opponent has Paw of Yazucan in their deck, and there's 3 troops in their crypt, and I didn't think about that. So if they hit a shard here, they could paw these chimes. Should feel a little bit bad. Or Chompasaur, they do not have enough resources for, so big bucks, no paw. Yep, they have the paw. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. This is free next turn anyways. I have my Champ Power active, so I can go ahead and Champ Power that Chimes and a Wild Shard back into my deck, probably. There's 3 Chlorophyllias in here already, so maybe I don't want to put up the Wild Shard back in. There's the last Mastery of Time. That's sad. That means I can't... Drawing the last Mastery means I can't scheme it. So this is the last extra turn I'm going to get. So that means I'm hoping to find my Chimes again here, so that way I can play Chimes and then take 2 extra turns. Okay, there's a scheme. Looking for some chimes, looking for some chimes. Hey, what do you know? I found some chimes. Play this scheme. And so, someone just mentioned Curse of Oblivion. I'm actually going to Oracle Song my opponent out of the game here because Curse of Oblivion exists. So because Curse of Oblivion is a card that my opponent could be playing, I want to kill them with Oracle Song here, I think. And I get 2 extra turns here. I think I actually want to pass to myself and get my scheme back into my deck here. Alright, I think I'm just supposed to... Yeah, just pass to myself. Yeah, I'm just going to pass to myself again here. This is my last extra turn. So let's play this out. I should have played the slow shard. That was a small mistake. It probably doesn't matter. I'm going to put Scheme, and I'm going to put Peek back into my deck, because I'm looking for specifically Scheme at this point. Alright, we found the Scheme. Take a Super Peek, and then this Scheme. This scheme creates 4 Oracle Songs, then this scheme creates 4 Oracle Songs. Is that actually enough to deck my opponent with? He said GG's. GG's opponent. Not my best matchup. I agree. This is another matchup that we really would like to play with this deck. So, at this point, we're going to draw our deck and then Oracle Song our opponent out of the game. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 16 cards. Yeah. Right. Wow. So that's... And this is why it's tough to judge how long it's going to take to climb the ladder. So we won a match. We stayed at 50. We won a match. We moved to 49. We won a third match. We jumped to 42. I'm going to go ahead and change a diaper really quick. My son just woke up from his nap. I'm going to go ahead and load the deck up here on screen. And we're going to play another match or two, depending on how long they take before I call it a day. So I'll be right back, folks, in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for hanging out this afternoon, everyone. Or night, or morning, wherever you're at in the world. All right. Welcome back. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out here today. Welcome back to our resubs that we had, and welcome to our new subscribers. I really do appreciate that. My name is Jeff Hoagland. As you may or may not know, I'm a professional TCG player. Here on this channel, we play all sorts of different card games and video games. We play a lot of Hex, Magic, Pokemon. If you're really enjoying the content and you want to help me make more of this awesome content, you should do so by making a Twitch channel subscription or supporting me on Patreon. Those are your two best ways you can keep me going. Browser Koopa says, so Jeff, I know you are enjoying the wonderful world of helping others draw cards, but you thought of pushing the horrors of War deck you ran after the Hero Fall set release. I don't know that I really want to spend time focusing and polishing something right now, because set 6 is almost certainly going to release before the next Hex CCS. So, like, working on new deck ideas now is, like, there's just, like, a lack of a payoff, basically. Like, I'm going to have to spend time tuning, which means I'm going to lose matches and, like, lose ladder rank. So, I'm not going to really get to capitalize on that work that's going to cost me ladder spots to, like, tune and do stuff like that. Another one here. We're 3-0 on the day with the wonderful Chimes Combo. Everyone is drawing. No! My opponent. We finally found someone that's doing smart things. They've got the opponent's playing Benvolio here for 4 charges. Draw a card at the end of the turn. If they have to discard it if they didn't play it. They've got Ruby cards in their deck. Oh, almost. I'm not going to use the words unwinnable, but it's real bad. In fact, if you've been watching how we've been playing so far, in one of the games we reserved in 2 cards, but the other matches we just didn't reserve in anything. That's because in this matchup, we're going to reserve in 15 cards. 15 cards are coming in. That's not true, Maddie. We've beaten Angus game 1 before. Just for the record, it is possible. It's not likely, but it's possible. Did he take your tablet and run away? Kind of a brat, huh? I just don't get more battery anyways. Is our opponent's waiting anyways? Hopefully they go Bolt Spazza Anarchist. God, you're so mean, Maddie. Why are you so mean to me? Why are you so mean to me, Maddie? So, I'm pretty sure we're just obligated to mulligan any hand that doesn't have a Chlorophyllia in it in this matchup. I just need an accelerator, basically. Yep, 1 shard. And this hand has it doesn't have Sapphire Shards in it, but we need Chlorophyllias because we have to be faster than just playing a resource every turn against a Ruby deck. So, Oh, there's the baby Yeti. I need to figure out what I'm rating about for this week. I think I'm going to talk about Rallier. Shannon! 632 with the 3rd month in a row channel resubscription, a quarter of a year. Welcome back. I appreciate the support. I apologize for the lack of Pikachus on screen. I think I have to restart OBS to get it to capture, so apologies. The most terrifying raging goblin. Yep. He's so angry. At least they've got the pumpkin Yeti. He's such a... Look, no anarchist, Maddie. No anarchist. Your bad luck, not happening. We're going to win. We can do it, fam. We can do it. We're going to draw some Sapphire Shards. The sight of the sun's going to live. Oh, the optimism. We need all the optimism in here, chat. We need all of the optimism. We need the good feels. You think we're okay? Nope, we're dead. We super dead. The difficult part... And the bits go boom. Maybe they don't have a 3rd shard? Man, I kind of wish we would have kept our first hand if they don't have a 3rd shard. Rats. Alright, well, this is almost certainly dying to a burn or a crackling bolt, but I'm playing it out because it's all we have to do with our resources this turn. And they're not going to draw a 3rd shard for infinite turns, and they're not going to have a way to kill the sight of the sun, and we're going to draw a Sapphire Shard, and everything's going to be wonderful. Everything's going to be wonderful. Play a Matriarch of the Flames. Come on, play a Matriarch of the Flames. Play a Matriarch of the Flames. Yeah, Matriarch. All right, so here's hoping there's not a Lasgar's Vengeance in our future. We just need to hit a Sapphire. We just need to hit a Sapphire. We just need to hit a Sapphire. Come on. Sapphire Shard! Sapphire Shard! Sapphire Shard! All I need is a Sapphire Shard. We'll even take a slow shot. Come on now. Come on now, Sight of the Suns want to gain some life. Come on, Sapphire. Sapphire, no! Oh, we could have actually won this game. We could have actually won this game if we'd have just ripped a Sapphire there. Could have actually maybe won. Now we dead, ladies and gentlemen. D-E-D dead. Deader than dead. You have a resource? Concede to a resource. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Super-de-duper dead. All right, so we just take all 15 here and bring them on in. Got the Zodiac Divinations and the Chimes and the Wellsprings and the Syzygy and the Time Ripple and the Schemes and the Peaks and the Sight of the Sun, and then we hit submit. You know, we just like board out the combo, board into like a mid-range Master Moss extra turns troop deck. It's fine. It's fine, fam. We've got a real board plan. Sneeper Keeper. 1 Sapphire Shard, double focus. We're going to focus. Everyone, I need to channel your energy into the wild shard that is in our top 3 cards here. It's going to get a little wacky and wild in here. Yep, transformational sideboard. Yay! Ding! Fries are done. Ding! Fries are done. Bum 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 bum. Dum 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 dum. Da 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 da. Bum 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 bum. Do 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 do. Dun 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 dun. Sorry, I'll call him now. I'll call him. All right, so shards. Okay, Carnasaur. We'll take that. I think we're just brown fox scouting and ambushing a little baby Yurty here. The babiest of all of the Yurties. So these Harvest Moons, they gain us 4 life when we play them, and then the next troop in our deck gain 4 life when it comes into play. So that's nice. This is a 3/2 with Flash that has a really awesome ability that says when this is on top of our deck, it reveals itself, and then we can play it from the top of our deck. So if we draw another Brown Fox Scout here, the Crackling Bolting me in advance is a little aggressive, especially considering I'm going to get to Brown Fox Scout you now. Ah, Blue Doomblade. So before blocks, play him a 3/2. Block your nerd. Am I playing a Harvest Moon here during my ready step? Yeah, I think I am. So I'm going to pause on my turn before I draw a card. Nah, there's no reason to do that. We don't have enough resources to make that relevant. Sweet. All right, play this. And then I'm going to Harvest Moon twice here. Yeah, I'm going to play both these Harvest Moons, and then I'm going to Champ Power both Harvest Moons back into my deck. Focus. I think we need a resource at this point. So whatever the next troop in our deck is going to be gain us 8 points of life. Sounds excellent. Mama Yeti's going to be a little scary here. Matriarch also a little scary. Baby Yeti, however, Baby Yeti gets devoured by this Carnasaur. And this Carnasaur is hungry. Hungry for some Baby Yeti. Are you ready? Brown Fox Scout is ready. I'm going to attack here first, give him a chance to kill this before I play this and try and fight this. Just keep attacking, and I'm Carnasauring before I activate my Champ Power, because if my opponent kills this with a burn in response to me fighting, I would like to Champ Power this back into my deck, I think. There's the Fireball, sure. So it doesn't get to fight. I get to go ahead and Champ Power, though, and put these 2 back in my deck. Pass the turn here. Is Prophecy Burn still good? It's fine. I have great timing. What's going on, Ghostly Flow? Oh no! He rage fired our Brown Fox Scout. Despite all his rage, he's still just a rat in a cage. Someone will say what is lost can never be saved. I don't know if I really like the course we're on. Let's change it up. The classic draw Lasgar's Vengeance with my Benvolio champion power. Hey, a Harvest Moon that draws a card. Sign me up. Now we're going to put a stop during my ready step. So that way, in case we draw a troop for the turn. All right, there's a troop somewhere in our deck, and when he comes into play, he's going to gain us 12 life. Don't make fun of my voice, Ryan. It's very, very rude. There's the old Matriarch of the Flames. Next turn, going to Champ Power this Harvest Moon that draws a card and the Brown Fox Scout back into my deck. Hopefully they play a Witch. You're so rude, Maddie. They have a Burn to the Ground in their hand. Things are not looking good for our hero. Our hero might be burning to the ground very soon. Well, at least we've mastered time. We've got that going for us. Time has been thoroughly mastered. Crank it up. Watch this get Renegade Ronaldo reposted. God, that would be so soul-crushing. Alright, so we're looking to draw our troop that gains a bunch of life, or have a Brown Fox Scout on top of our deck. Ooh, the Master Moss. So this card gains 12 life when it comes into play, and when this card dies, it comes back into play as a 2/2 and gains 12 more life. Pew pew, pew pew. Who's cited? I cited. I'm so excited. Is sight not legal in the rotate? No, Landing Pod sight's legal. It's just we don't have any troops in our main deck, so we don't play that. Lucky. We're still gonna lose this game. I'm pretty sure we're gonna lose this game still. It's a very good card to have all the prophecies on. You're not wrong. This is the Master Moss that was foretold by the Coyotals of old. Its coming will be spoken of for generations. The Master Moss that gains not 12, but 24 points of life. Ooh, we're fireballing the Master Moss. Oh, we're burning to the ground the Master Moss. Yep. Oh god, I hope he attacks with this. Please attack with this. If they attack with this and not this, assuming they can chump block my 2/2, I'm going to attack, they'll chump block, and then I'll Mastery of Time and get this back. You want another burn to the ground. Come on now, attack. Alright, so they got another burn to the ground. Skip. Sweet. So this Mastery of Time is probably going to let us flip this Master Boss, which is lit, fam, as the kids say. Hopefully we just draw Carnasaurus here. Carnasaur? Alright, take 2. Sure. Alright, gain a couple more points of life here, no NBD. Attack with my Wrathwood Mossling. Do you have a burn or a fireball, sir or madam? Unfortunately for you, opponent, I have a Mastery of Time. The time and space I am a master of. And my Mossling shall live again. And then it shall die again and gain not 12, not 24, but 36 points of health. Don't kill my guy. Come on, don't kill my guy. I just want to flip him back. Oh, jeez. The Mosslings. He's going to grow up into a big Master Mouse. And gain all of the life. I don't think I've ever won a game where a Matriarch of the Flames created multiple burn to the grounds, but there's a first time for everything. How good would it be if we just draw another Master Moss here that gains 4 life? Come on, velocity. One could say our transformational sideboard is good. It does as we intended. How about another one? Not only are we a master of time, but one could argue we've mastered all of the moss. One could argue the moss has been mastered as well. God, that finger pistols emote is great. Great. the cheers. Welcome. I am going to get slaughtered in game 3. You're not wrong, but that's fine. We had this game. We had the Master Boss that was foretold of in the prophecies. Because the best... Opponent deep in the tank, has everything going on that they want going on, but these mosses are just masters of all. Guess who's attacking? Who's the aggro deck now, Ruby deck? Who's the aggro deck now? Come on, come on. What? Seriously? Deal. Maybe I'm not supposed to take that trade there. I feel like that trade's fine for me. Woo, play this brown fox card off the top of my deck. Draw a card. Kill the knife cat. No, knife cat doesn't want to die. Knife cat's died enough times. God, this board plan is so good. We will continuing mastering the mossy ways here. Ha! The old end at 58 against the burn deck. As you will, opponent. Knife cat is mono red. That's true. Good person, opponent. Yep. You're still... You're not dead on board. They could block here. They could block here and then take 9. How is that thing not unique? Come on, there's lots of moss in the forest. All right, and then yeah, we're gonna stick to our board plan here. I think. Yeah, I think we're just gonna stick to the board plan. Part of me wants like a Zodiac Divination or 2 in here. Maybe we don't need the change courses early on. I'm gonna bring in 1 Zodiac Divination. I feel like I cut too much velocity. So, I'm not sure if it's a hex bug or a wine bug. I'm pretty sure it's a wine bug. The timer is wrong there, and after 2 minutes it cuts off. And on one of my other laptops, that's also a Linux computer with wine, it shows like 30 seconds or a minute, but it actually gives me the 2 minutes. This hand's actually very good. We just get to go Chlorophyllia on 2, turn 3 Master Boss, turn 4 Master Boss. These cards play offense and defense really well, so if we're a professional, we'll draw an Arcane Focus on 2. Yep, this is just everything we want to be doing post-board. If we win this match, we should probably stop playing because, like, just used up all of our luck for the day. This is definitely a hand that could win on the draw, depending on how aggressive their start is here. Focus! 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 Just Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon. Alright, fine. That's fine. Another focus is fine, and we can Chlorophyllia plus focus again next turn. Hi, toddler. You want to come sit by Dad? Dad's running hot. Dad's running hot, boys. Hot, hot, hot. I mean, we had to run the opposite. We had to run the opposite after yesterday, right? Yesterday we ran so bad. Say hi, internet. Hi, internet. My name is Jacob. All right, they've got a Psycho here on 2, so that's pretty good for them. These we hit a Karn too. God bless. Harvest Moon now. Harvest Moon now. That's fine. All right, so we'll play this. We'll play this. Anyone that wasn't here yesterday should go back and watch the archive from yesterday. Everything balances itself out, just for reference. Either that, or someone at Hexent saw how badly we got wrecked yesterday, and they went and whitelisted me for today. Hey, no, toddler, I'm gonna kick you out, Declan. You cannot. You are not allowed to. All right, I might have to evict the toddlers real quick here. All right, Declan, no. Jake is a good kid and just wants to sit on my lap. Declan wants to unplug the power strip underneath my thing. And we have Karn for a Witch, that's right. Now we have 2 Karns, 2 Master Mosses, just like, again, everything we want to be doing in this matchup right here. If my opponent has Matriarch here, that's their best play. But, it's still not too terrible since we have double Karn here. Hi, Jake. Yes, you could sit on Dad's lap some more. Hopefully they play like a baby Yeti here so we can Karn the baby and then Karn the Anarchist. Rage Fire might... Bud, come on. You gotta calm down. Ugh. Hopefully they break on a shard here. That would be insane. Oh, your tablet froze? Man, this stupid PBS app freezes a ton. Okay, they missed a shard. Wish granted. Hey, here. Alright, so I think we're just supposed to play Master Boss here. Just like play a giant brick wall. Here's my brick wall. Good luck. Like I said, if we win this, we're done playing this deck. We might play a couple more. Maybe we'll try and queue the rest of my draft, but you might be overkilling it. Yep. Choo-choo! Top 5 train noises NA, Jacob Hoagland. You make such good train noises, kid. We are snap blocking here. Like 10 out of 10 trading with a Crackling Bolt. I mean, a vanilla 4-mana 5/5 is not playable. Just, for reference, a vanilla 4-mana 5/5 is not playable. Choo-choo! Top 5 trade noises, NA! So we're going to do this. We're going to Chlorophyllia. We're going to champ power the Chlorophyllia and the Focus back into my deck. We're going to play the second Master Boss out. We're going to start getting our beat down on. And that's one of the reasons why Master Boss is such a good part of our sideboard plan. Choo-choo! 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 Because in addition to playing awesome defense, it's also very aggressive. Let's just close the game. There might be merit to playing both Karns out here, like play Karn, don't fight, play second Karn, fight, gain 4 life. But we're at 12, and we'll likely be able to fight with Karn next turn. And I just want to get the second Master Moss out in case they hit their 3rd shard and get a Matriarch down next turn. And this lets me be aggressive with this when it actually start closing the game out. You don't want to give the Ruby deck infinite time to draw out of their screw because they have 7 pieces of action in their hand right now because they haven't been playing shards. So we want to just pressure them so they can't draw out of their screw and really leverage it. Crackling Bolt me, yep. This lets them champ power, yep, so they could try and draw a shard with that. And this turn we're going to Karn for sure. Focus! Focus! Oh! Or we're going to do that. That also works. I'm going to attack with both of these. If they don't chump, they are dead. This is a good lesson. Always chump before you have to. Because when you have to, you might not be able to. Alright, so they're dead. We master your time, and then we Karn this next turn. They might have been dead regardless here, actually. They might have been dead regardless if they blocked. They didn't actually count, but they're definitely dead now that they didn't. We kill this, and then we crack them for 10. Alright, you know, transformational board plan, it works. Just I don't know what to say other than that, it works. They were pretty dead regardless. I agree, 32 beat. And then win and stay 42. 42, what a good quality position to end on the ladder. The meaning to life and the ladder itself, 42. Man, Varanus is down here with me too. Wow, it's a tough fight. Yeah, 2 shards Anarchist is not unreasonable in the play. I don't think so in the slightest. So, alright, let's go ahead and close this.